and
Alright,
love,
fellas,
family.
what's up,
Peace
family?
and
How you doing?
love.
How you doing? Yanni in the building. What's up, y'all? How you doing?
Peace and love. Peace and love. Well, peace and love, family. So it's good to see you. This is Wet Witch Wednesdays, coming to you from the Alchemy Temple. And the music is not ours that's playing in the background. You're listening to Miles Davis, The Bitches Brew. Miles Davis, The Bitches Brew. So come on in, and we're going to talk about that one, that archetype that everyone knows of, that archetype that isn't fully explained, the Black Madonna, and what all she represents, the return of the Black Madonna. Ashe, ya, ya, Ashe, ya, ya, Ahashta. How you doing, beloved? Ahashta. How you doing, beloved? I got another daughter. I see. Peace and love to you, sweetheart. Peace and love, family. It's so
Taj
good to
G.
see you. So, of course,
Happy
you all
birthday,
know
Taj
that
G.
my
Happy
guest is the
birthday,
founder of
goddess.
Alchemy Temple, New Also Maibe. He is in the building because we have some things to talk about going into the Black Madonna, the return, the rise of the Black Madonna. What does that mean, and why in the 21st century is she popping in? Why is she popping in the here and now? Why is the Black Madonna popping in the here and in the now? What does it have to do with? Tasha, what's going on, beloved? How are you doing? How are you doing? It's so good to see everybody in the cipher. Thank you for joining Wet Witch Wednesdays. And of course, we're always happy to hear from you and see you again. My guest, and until we iron out these difficulties technically, you'll be seeing us come in like this, okay? Because we have some things going on technically, but of course we're just gonna keep it moving. So my guest tonight is Nuaso Maibe, Dr. Haru, the founder of Alchemy Temple. We're talking about Black Madonna. So you're walking in the dark right
Ahasta
now with
Flow,
your
walking up.
ancestors. I know. So which ancestors are you walking with, Ahasta? Which ancestors are you walking with, beloved? Because you know what? You always walking with them because they are you. Y'all, you are family too. You know that, beloved. You know how we connected, y'all. You know how that is. Thank you,
Yeah.
Ahashta, thank you. Aaliyah, peace and love to you, beloved. Peace and love, everyone coming into the cipher. The energy is so good and so welcoming and so warm. It's so good to see you all. It's so good to start talking about this, Black Madonna, and how does it correlate? How does the archetype, or, she is a goddess, how does she relates to us, the here and the now in the 21st century? Start thinking about that. Start thinking about you in correlation to the Black Madonna. And why does the title Black, why is it in front of her? Why it's not just Madonna? Why is it Black Madonna? Why is it just not Madonna, Return of Madonna? Why does it have to say Black Madonna? We're going to get into all that good, juicy stuff tonight for you tonight, because you know what? Indeed, it is juicy. It is juicy. And everything that we're dealing with in the here and now, the rise of the matriarch, the return of the Black Madonna, the rise of the Black Madonna, the coming back into yourself is what we're dealing with. This is what's going on right now. Taking notes. Good, beloved. That's what's up. Take your notes. Get your pens and paper. Write it down. Let's get going. Let's get it started. I'm loving y'all. The energy is so good. It's so good. So, the Bitches Brew is playing. I'm going to give a few more minutes, just a few more minutes for some people to come into the cipher. If you all share this, please, and go right ahead and tag me. I don't mind. Tag me in your post if you want to. Ashunra, El Bay, peace and love to you. Peace and love to you. Peace and love to the beloved gods and goddesses, the beloved kings and queens, the beloved cosmic family that's coming into the cipher. It's so good to see you on this Wet Witch Wednesdays. Wet with knowledge. Wet with knowledge. Wet with love. Wet is going to be a soaking wet time in the cipher tonight. And you are already getting me heated up, meaning my pores are starting to open up and receive the water, the sweat of the knowledge, the science that we're going to be dropping tonight regarding the correlation between the solar people, the cosmic family, and the rise and the return of the Black Madonna. Hotep to you too, beloved. Yanni. So Black Madonna came up in your research. See, Yanni, you know you be tuned in like a Yanni, I seen you say, why did we stop cursing? It's not that we stopped. Different forums calls for different things, and sometimes we can't express it, because I was gonna say, we in here, you on the same frequency. Obasola, peace and love to you. Peace and love to you. It's so good to see you all. It's so good to see you. I mean, y'all warming me up, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started, Nua.
Yes. Let's go.
So we have 11 people. That is a divine number. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So let's go into the rise of the Black Madonna. Okay, so Black Madonna, she is considered an archetype, right? Shahara, there she is, the goddess herself. She is considered an archetype. Now, before, as we all know, that all around the world, except for the Western side over here in the United States, she is celebrated. She's celebrated in secret. She's celebrated in closing, in closets. She is celebrated. She is praised, and it's always the image of the Black Madonna holding an infant. So let's get into that, and let's get into what's going on with that. Okay, so there's a psychic and a collective reason that the Black Madonna is merging. She's coming back up right now in the 21st century. There is, and it's very, very ancient. So it's collective, right? It's psychic, it's ancient. So it means that means that it's cosmic, it's ancient, it's collective, meaning it's an accrued thought process that's going on right now in the here and now. As we're transcending into the age of Aquarius, the rise of the Black Madonna is going right along with us ascending into that age, into that era. Okay? Thudo, peace and love, peace and love. So the last time that she played a major role in the West, so to speak, over here, the last time she played a major role in the culture was the 12th century. Think about that number, the number 12. The last time that she played a role, so now the number is 21st. So it's reversed, right? So the last time she played a major role was the 12th century. So now it's the 21st century, and here she is again. She's bringing her strong, feminine, Black, original, goddess-like ways back on the scene again. Okay, there you go. 2 + 1 = 3. What does the number 3 mean? What? See, you have 12, and then we have 21, and we're going to get into all of that. Triple goddess, you better talk on that, Yanni. You're talking about the triple darkness. You're talking about a triple Black goddess. Okay, so let's go into what does that mean? What does she represent? Okay, so on the Renaissance level, on with the Catholic, right? And a century before that, in around the 60s is when she started to die out a little bit, but now we're going to get into what's going on with her and what she represents. So before I start to elaborate a little bit more on her, now just know that Isis, some people say Isis when they mention her name as well. Some people say in correlation to the Black Madonna, they mention Isis. Peace and love to the admin that's in the building. Okay, so what is the definition of an archetype to you? What is the definition of an archetype? That's somebody they're given a false sense of being to. It's like saying that it's not real. It's an archetype, like the Greek goddesses is not real, but you know that everything represents energy. Energy transcends everything. So the fact that you're putting the word archetype before the reality of the energy doesn't take away of who and what she represents with her rise right now. So she meets many different things, and we're going to go into that a little bit, but I want Nua to get a chance to go in and elaborate on her rise and what's happening right now before I get into the meat of the pot, so to speak.
Okay, well, peace and love to everybody in the building. Just want to say what's up, brethren. Thudo Yamarudi. That's a dope name, very powerful energy. I feel that energy. I don't know what it means, but I definitely can feel that energy. What's up, Sade? Mm-hmm. And we're talking about the Black Madonna. The Black Madonna. Now, who is the Black Madonna? The Black Madonna is, as John just said, the Black Madonna is a archetype. but of what? The archetype is of motherhood, of the feminine divine principle. That's what the archetype is. So this is the reason why you notice in this particular world that we live in, the medical world is based on one particular genetic genealogy. Okay, so one particular form of genes, they have formulated an entire medical system based off of this particular DNA structure. Okay, and then you also have from that, this is a worldwide domination thing. We're talking about Madonna, the Black Madonna. So you have, uh, first of all, the word, like you said, you mentioned the fact that Madonna, why is it Black Madonna? Why is it not just Madonna? It's like saying Black Jesus or
Mm-hmm.
Black Santa. Why does it have to be specified that it's Black? Now, um, for local terms, you might think that it's a racist thing, and you might think that it's something to signify the fact that they're Black, almost like to take away from them. But really and truly, the Blackness, because you're talking about triple Black goddess now. The
Mm-hmm.
triple Black goddess is 3 times Blackness, right? But that's the triple Black goddess. But you have the Black goddess, right? And then you have the one in between them. So you have different forms, and these forms are going to always take place in different types of diaspora and over different periods of time and like that. So you have the return of of the triple Black goddess, okay, in the 21st century. And the last time she arose was in the 12th century. What was happening in the 12th century when she was here last time? So first of all, dealing with the sexual anatomy and the genealogy, the physical anatomy and things like that. You know that the man has a total number of 12 holes in his body, and the woman has a total of 13. So we have this feminine energy representing a goddess, a basic matriarchal system from the very beginning, but she's coming up during a masculine, where the masculine energy is shifting. Okay, because right now that's what's happening. The energy is shifting from a patriarchal society to a matriarchal society. It's going to take a while, but the shift has already started. And this is in the 21st century. So this is showing how the masculine energy is going to be the precursor for the feminine energy to rise up and do what it has to do. But it comes at a time frame where the masculine energy is represented by that 3. That 3 is a masculine form representing the male anatomy, whereas if it was a 4, it would be representing the 4 of the woman. So if you break down the woman's body versus the man's body, the man has 12 holes, the woman has 13 holes, natural holes in her body. So that's how you get 12 and get 13. So dealing with the actual time frame of being 21st century and the last time that the triple Black goddess or Black Madonna, where they have all these pictures, okay, all these pictures were dated back to a time frame, and that time frame, you look at that and you see. So that's why you see the advertisement for the meme. You've seen all across the world the Pope, okay. You see the Pope, you see all sorts of official religious high up echelon bowing down to these African symbols of the cosmic divine mother. And they tell you that this cosmic divine mother is Black. Okay, so that's why if you go back and you look at the advertisement that was done for Wet Witch Wednesdays today, they're very done. They're done in quick flashes. The media team put them in flashes, but you look at that. Matter of fact, you don't have to look at the meme. Go on to Google. Just go on the internet and type in, the world worshiping the Black Madonna. You'll get hundreds and hundreds of images where the world leaders, okay, the world leaders are in private, they are worshiping the Black mother essence of this solar deity, this solar cosmic mother entity. They are in secret, they're following that. Same thing in the Masonic lodges. You go inside the upper Masonic lodges, you will find Black faces on the wall. Okay, so all of this, and it has nothing to do with your race, because your race would have to be cosmic at this point. Your race would have to be of a cosmic genealogy. Okay, the Vatican in particular is responsible for the Madonna syndrome and for actually having that information out. But the Black Madonna, they recognize in private. They'll draw pictures in public of a white Mary. That's who Mary is. Mary is the Black Madonna, but she's the white Mary. Well, you really could say white Mary. But see, you don't say white Mary. You just say Mary, and we're supposed to know who it is, right? If I said Madonna, you would think of the singer, a white woman, a Caucasian woman. You wouldn't think of, I would have to say Black Madonna for you to think of the spirit. Now, like I said, in local terms, it's a racist thing, but in a peace, what's up, Terry? In a cosmic sense, in a cosmic order, the black is referring to the triple black characteristic. Okay, and you get that through Medusa, which is the triple black goddess, which is the face of the cosmos. When you get into space, you uplift that veil. You're in the womb, which is the triple black goddess. You have the womb, you have the face, and you have beyond the veil. Okay, so this is where you're dealing with Yemaya, Mami Wata, and Medusa. Okay, so the triple black goddess, you have Ursula Dantor in the Haitian culture, Haitian voodoo. You have Ursula Dantor, who is that triple black goddess, that Black Madonna. Okay, the dark-skinned mother who is single. Okay, because this is mother and son. There is no father. See, now that's another point that I want to make. The father in this situation is removed. The father's removed. This is strictly a feminine energy. Now, the father's role is to set everything up so that the woman can move uninhibited. That's really the strict movement of the male energy in this particular case. The man is not beneath. The man is not far away. The man is at a place. Most definitely. Thanks for coming. You know, I'm not sure who invited you. I don't know if that's Ja or if that was one of the people in the room, but definitely you're welcome. You know, but definitely, you know, that's what it is. So you have to definitely pay attention to that. And that triple black goddess is really the essence. It's the essence of you. It's the essence of who you are at your core as a woman, as a feminine being, a cosmic feminine being. You would then in turn represent that cosmology of the triple black goddess Madonna. And the return of the Madonna is the return of the gods in the flesh of here and now. Now, me as a male and all the brothers in the room, all the brothers watching the video, the way we're affected by this masculine entity, right? I mean, by this feminine entity. Your job is to prepare the way. That's it. There is no other job for you other than preparation to make sure that it's uninhibited for the mother. The mother is the one that has always been the lawgiver, right? I mean, think about it. You say my mom and my dad, right? You say, I'm gonna go tell mom. You don't snitch on your brothers and sisters, your siblings to your father. You snitch to your mother, right? The mother's generally the one and cooking the dinner and doing all of those motherhood types of things, and that's what the science is. So, you know, the Black Madonna, the triple black. I think we lost Jaw. The triple black goddess, the triple black science is really a symbol of the activated self through the women. You understand what I'm saying? When you activate this principle, within yourself, okay. So, for instance, if you associate yourself with Ursula Dantor, as an example, okay, and I'm hoping and I'm assuming that you know who Ursula Dantor is. Okay, now we talk about Oshun this and Oshun that. Ursula Dantor is the continent's or the African's version of okay, excuse me, guys. John, you got to go out and come back in. It won't let me pull you on and saying you can't do it. Go out and come back in. Ursula Dantor is the same as Oshun. Okay, so you have Ursula Freda is the same, and then you have Oshun. They're all the same. So you have the two goddesses that came over from the continent and that came over to the West Indies by way of Haiti, and you have the light skin, and that's Ursula Freda, and you have the dark skin Ursula Dantor, which is the triple black goddess. Okay, Ursula Dantor, is the triple black goddess. Now, if you're associated with that side, then you would overstand and you would associate with earthly Dantor. Now, in Africa, if you're dealing with some of the African diaspora, like Ifa, particularly, you have Oshun. Okay, Oshun is normally seen with the perky breast and a baby. Now, she sometimes has two babies. One baby's upside down that she's holding, and the other one is upside up. Okay, this is another representation of the triple black goddess, the Black Madonna. Okay, so this principle, this science, this energy, this symbol is going to go through culture to culture. It's going to go through different situations all the time. It's going to go through different, you know, situations, different cultures, but it's going to replay itself through the different sciences. So it doesn't matter what system you're in, because it's a principle, and you represent the movement of the principle. It is a principle, and you represent the actual solidity of that moving principle as you. It represents a principle, and you are the actual solid foundation, the one that I can see, feel, and touch of that principle. You're the movement of that principle. Now, you only do that by activating the characters. So if you want to know how to tap into the divine feminine energy, then you would tap into, like for instance, some of those examples that I just gave you: Earthly Dantor, Oshun. Okay, those two in particular are extremely the characteristics of them are that triple black goddess. Okay, Yemaya is another formation of this triple black goddess. Okay, Yemaya is another one. Okay, you can definitely, the Black Madonna, you can definitely tap into the Yemaya energy and tap into that Black Madonna. It's a principle. Okay, it is a principle, and there we go, John. It's a principle, the triple black goddess. See, there she go.
Okay, peace, family.
Yes, three sisters, definitely, Thudo. All right, yes, John.
Were you saying something? Can I say something?
Please go ahead. I'm done at that point.
Okay. So I want to let you know that Ma Kali is also referred to as the Black Madonna. Black Madonna. Ma Kali.
Kalima.
Yeah, Kalima. She is also in correlation to the Black Madonna for the Indian or that culture. Also in Asia or in China, there's a goddess by the name of Tara, Tara. She is also in correlation. You know who has these names, and it doesn't have anything to do with the color of your skin or anything like that, because we're going to start to go into what does the blackness, like I knew I was going into the triple darkness. Okay, so the Black Madonna is dark. Okay, so what the reason that she is dark is because she calls us into the darkness. A lot of people are afraid of the darkness. So she is here to let you know that it's time to go back into the place where you can create. It's time for you to go back into yourselves. You need to go back into the triple darkness of your soul. Where else do you need to go? You don't need to look for anything else outside of you. It's time for you to go into the triple darkness of yourself. So what that means that in order to receive the true enlightenment, in order to receive the true reality, the only place for you to gain the truth of that is to experience going into your soul. That's where the enlightenment comes from. That's why they're saying we're in the age of enlightenment. Okay, so the age of enlightenment correlates to you going back into the darkness. So a lot people think it's spooky to go back into the darkness, but she's representing, I'm dark, triple dark, cosmic. You are an exact replica of who I am. So I'm calling for you to go back into the triple darkness of your soul and tap into yourselves. You have to tap into your divine feminine. Even if you're a female, you still have to tap into the divine feminine. And the only place you find that is within your own soul, in the darkness of your soul. That's when you will begin to wake up. That's when the enlightenment will come. That's when, the decalcified pineal gland will begin to break free. That's when you begin, that kundalini, everything is dealing with you going back into the triple darkness of your soul. So also, I want you to know, to avoid the darkness is to avoid your enlightenment. To avoid the darkness is to avoid you waking up and being a part of the frequency that is shifting with or without you. You need to understand that in correlation to the ancient, or in correlation to the cosmos, she is also representing that it's time we are coming back. The original way, the manner of the cosmic manner, it's time to come back. So going back into the darkness, meaning that you can't live superficially anymore. You can't be shallow anymore. You either have to be all the way in, or you're not in at all. There is no two sides to it. You're gonna have to, she's saying, look, go into the darkness, and that's where you will receive the light. Isn't that something? Isn't that something that we are so afraid of the darkness? But you have to go back into the darkness to become enlightened, okay? So when you start to go into the darkness and really, okay, let's bring this concept home. Let's not think of it of something as a taboo, or something that's unreachable. When we say go into the darkness, meaning that if you take some time with yourself and you meditate into yourself, when you go into yourself, say you have an answer, say there's something you want to know, there's something that you want to lead you, sit with yourself, and the God that's in you is saying, I'm here, right here, I'm here, I need you to ask me. The accrued part of yourself that goes back and dates the cosmos, which means you have no birth date. The accrued knowledge of who and what you are is saying to you, come on in here and just give me a try. Come on in here. I have something to tell you. In order for you to gain the knowledge that you need to gain for yourself, for you to wake up, for you to rise, it can't be on a superficial plane, meaning you can't just look it up, or you can't of another. You can't take the doctrine of another, and that's not you. Everyone, although we're on a frequency and we're together, your individuality adds to the duality of the you that you are. Let me say that again. Your individuality adds to the duality of what you are, meaning you are both divine feminine and you are divine masculine. Okay, there is no other. In order for you to tap into that, you have to go into the original part of yourself. You have to go into the DNA makeup that is you. You have to go into the ancestor that is you. You have to go into the accrued thought process that's found within your bloodstream to pull from that. And that is only when you tap into the melanated clusters that is you. Your thought process that you think is only yours, but there's an accrued thought process. Your life force needs to be activated for you to tap into your God consciousness. So that's what her raising her head up with the child. And see, it's not that the man is not there. The man has been here, but now we're here. The man is here. He's been here since the 12th century, doing everything that the patriarch does. So now it's time for the sweet water to return. It's time for the triple black goddess to take her seat, to take her crown. And the only way to do that is to tap into you. Yeah, you can listen to Jah. Jah is giving you tools of what you need to do to tap into you. Yes, Nua, you can listen to the God, but he is giving you tools to tap into you. So the blackness of her skin, it correlates to the triple darkness that she is. And it correlates to that's all you have to do is tap into your God self and tap into you being God. Yes, Noah.
I just want to I got to say this with you. You know, another aspect of this blackness, right, is the fact that the blackness represents the escape of none.
Ooh.
Nothing escapes from it. That's what's the collection. That's what the accruedness of the accruement is, the collective energy, the energy that's being collected. That's what black is. Black is the escape of none, whereas white is the entry of none. Nothing can enter into the white, right? So every color that exists is both contained in the white and in the black. So when you enter into the triple black goddess or the triple black goddess state, because you know we are both masculine and female, and when you enter into this particular cosmic awareness, when you enter into this state of being, that means that all the individual colors that you have, all the different traits, every single one of them is blinded and they're turned off. You don't see none of that. The only thing you see is pure void, right? And in the void is where you have silence. In the void is where you have silence. So the blackness, the triple blackness is the shedding, showing the shedding, the constant shedding off. What's up, Latif? It's showing that constant shedding of the energy. Right now, where does the blackness come from and where does it go? If you call her triple black goddess, triple black where? Triple black how? Triple black when? In order for something to be black, it has to be black, which means that it doesn't change. It can't be red today and orange tomorrow and then black. Black is straight up black. You don't never see orange. You don't never see green or blue or green. You see black all the time. That's what black is. Black means nothing can escape it. So this means when you're saying triple black Madonna, the triple black goddess, this is showing that each level is a level of purity and of completeness. Everything is complete. Every single color is represented. Right? If you take out one of the colors, then the black lightens up and it's not really black, right? You have to have everything there in order for it to really be black. It's complete of all colors. That's what makes it black. Right? If I just mix green, brown, and blue, that's not black. But if I take red and put it in there with some orange, and I take a little bit of, you know, this color and I start mixing it up, then I start getting black. Right? You mix up all the colors. And that's like because black is all the colors in one. So the separation of when you start breaking black down, you start dissecting black, you start taking it and dissecting it and breaking it apart. Then you start getting the individual reds, the blues, the greens, which is you have the combination colors. Some of them are not pure colors. Okay, and we're talking about colors right now because colors are vibrations, which vibrations are awareness. So when we're talking about the triple black goddess, you know that you're dealing with vibrational of colors and numbers. I mean, off the rip, you know that colors are dealing with vibrations, right? Why do you think that they use the red and blue, the red and yellow, right, for the advertisement for fast foods and all of that? We know the science, right? Colors are vibrations and vibrations break down to numbers. All right, so we already understand that we're talking about the triple black goddess, that just from that formula right there, you can see how it breaks down in you individually because you're supposed to break down the colors. What does that mean? How are you going to be triple black? How you get to be triple black? That means that you have to work with one black. Before you can get the black of the black, you got to be black. What is that? What is that? That means that you have to work with the collection of all parts of you. 360 degrees of self on all levels. Right? And that's going to give you the physical 360. Another 360 degrees is going to be mental 720. And another 360 degrees is going to give you your spirit. Boom. And now you got 1060. That's the 7 again. Okay, and when you're dealing with the goddess, you're going to deal with the goddess is going to show up in 3s and 4s. And what is 3 plus 4?
7.
That's the science. So the triple black goddess is going to show up in 3s and 4s.
But also, Nuwa, with the equation or the solution, because it is a solution. It's a mathematical solution. So with the solution of acknowledging the triple black goddess, goddess, the Black Madonna, you're also going into all three parts of yourself, the male, the female, and the anime, all three sides of yourself. She represents to not ignore your lower chakras anymore. She represents that it's not taboo to ignore sex. She represents that it's okay to take off your clothes and get naked. You have to go into the animal side of yourself in order to discover your true self. You have to understand that the triple black womb of the Black goddess is the light for all humanity. When you go into the triple blackness of yourself, you're going into all aspects of you that cover everything of yourself. So you're going into, you can't just say, okay, I'm going in here and I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to deal with my throat. I'm going to deal with my heart. No, deal with the fact of why being sexual is so taboo. Let's pay attention to those root and sacral chakras. Let's get down in the mud of the animalistic behavior that is tied into us, because the three represents so much. It represents man, woman, spirit. It represents female, male, and anime. Anime. The animal meaning that we have to descend, we have to ascend and descend again back to our lower selves. We have to look at all parts of ourselves. It's no part that's missing, because once you discover, when you start to tap into and balance all sides of yourself, you begin to awaken the God consciousness of you. That's when you start to tap into the other side that she represents, the cosmology, the cosmic side, or the ancient side, or the side that is with you, the side that you say, you know what, I'm calling on my ancestors. No, you are the ancestors. That's when you tap into the fact that, oh, hold up, wait a minute, I'm becoming an ancestor, okay? When you start to go into the light of the womb, the triple blackness of the womb, which is the light of the world, you can either rise from going into that and dealing in that triple darkness, or you can fall and your demise is sure to come. When you go into the triple blackness, the Black Madonna is representing, come ye, the cosmic agenda is underway, and it starts first with you, sister. It starts first with you, brother. Whatever is in there, your animalistic ways make you become the ego. The ego of what they try to take away from us and say, you know what, silence the ego. Oh, hell no, I'm not. I'm not silencing my ego, because my ego makes me become independent. My ego makes me realize and let you know that I am God, and I am the God of the here and of the now. So the Black Madonna is representing to you, sister, and to you, brother, to go back into all aspects of yourself. Get into your ego, and your ego been trying to tell you all this time that your DNA makeup is only yours. Your DNA makeup belongs to you. So tap into that triple part of yourself so that you can begin to create DNA codes of your bloodline, for you, for the voice that's carrying, the legacy that you're making for your grandchildren, the legacy that you're making for your great grandchildren. You understand? So don't be afraid to get into that, to dig into that triple black goddess, because you have to tap into that part of you, all aspects of you, in order to become the God that you are. There is no way around it. There's no way around it. If you think, or if you are under the thought concept or the thought process that, you know what, I can't tap into that darkness. You know, Baphomet, you know, I don't know, that's an evil looking thing. Or the demons. You know, when you start to eradicate and erase these ideologies of what's been placed before us, you will begin to find all the keys to unlock the divinity that is you. So all that is being said to you is that, come on. I've been waiting for you a long time. Because see, not only when you do you become enlightened when you tap into yourself, but you also are given the keys of service. You're going to be served, meaning you wake up, you become a God, because you remember now the ancestors and the ancient ones was the Black Madonna represents the cosmos. You can't get more ancient than that. You can't get more older than that. So the cosmic agenda, the cosmos, all of science, all of the mystery, everything will begin to collaborate together and serve you, because they can't sleep. They can't serve anything that's sleeping. If you don't know who and what you are, how can you be served, beloved family? How can you even fix your mouth to say, you know what? I want this and I want that, but I don't want to work for it. And that's also, you have to know that magic doesn't mean abracadabra. Magic doesn't mean we're going to do it today and make it happen tomorrow. Magi is a process of the accrued thought process of actively putting in work to make your destiny happen for your goddamn self. Okay? So when you in the process of magic, and when you shift in time and you shifting an order that was set before you, you are performing a ritual. You are creating magic. So Black Madonna is here saying, look, I need for y'all to step up off the matrix for a minute. I need for y'all to get up off all these ideologies that's been put before you since the 12th goddamn century. I need you to step into yourself and tap into each layer of darkness, which I am representing. Three. So that's masculine, feminine, anime, masculine, feminine, spirit, masculine, feminine, your goddamn soul. Okay?
Now, I don't really want to go into too much on this part because it's gonna have me going in, but you really have sparked something in my thinking. Okay. I'm like, well, damn. Okay, so anyway, look at this now. The point that you just made, I think, was an excellent point. Dealing with the fact that the babies, right? The creation. So first of all, this is a triple black goddess, a principle. This is a principle, the Black Mother. This is a principle, right? Now, if you pay attention to the imagery, the principle has what's in the image? A baby, right? What is the baby? The baby is a little black baby, right? That's gone in his little blackness, in that little black body. That's by his mother, right? Triple black mother with the triple black baby, right? So this means that you have offspring in your actions. Now, men, we often we go through the same process that the sisters go through. Okay, we actually emulate the exact same process. We go through the exact same process that the sisters go through with pregnancy and with the delivery of birth, giving birth, men. But instead, we give birth to energies. We give birth to thought forms. Right? Now, not to say that women don't also give birth to thought forms too, but because we don't actually give birth to physical bodies, our job, and this is what the world would judge us by, is the production of powerful thought forms that can open up the world so that you can handle your business, right? Because they say to you, if you're a grown man and there's nothing wrong with you, they say, hey, that man's grown. There's nothing wrong with him, because you know already that as a man, you're supposed to have certain things going for you, right? I mean, if there's nothing wrong with you, you're not handicapped, right? You got all your fingers and toes, you should be able to get it, right? I mean, you're not slow in the brain or anything like that. It's not like you can't understand, you get it. You should be able to do it, and that's the standard. So the actual birthing process or the pregnancy process, men are impregnated with thoughts. The thoughts then cycle through our psyche. Once they're developed, most of the time, some of the time they'll fully develop, but a lot of times they won't, and you end up giving birth to the idea prematurely. The triple black mother goddess, the Black Madonna, is the process of you going as men. And this also, obviously, it applies for the women too, but for the men, we would have to exclusively think about it in this way. You have an actual time frame, right? For you to take in energy and for the energy to develop within your mind and for you to give birth to it. You have to make sure that in using the Black Madonna energy within yourself, that you cycle the energy of a mother and what you know about what the birthing process is like. And for the ladies, you can kind of look at the birthing process and see, you know, what it is to give birth to children and stuff. So as men, we look at the process of what the woman has to go through, and that's what you emulate for your thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Because look, sometimes the woman, if she loved her husband, if everything is good, she's so uncomfortable during pregnancy, she just don't even want to be pregnant no more. She's like, look, man, I don't want to do this. So like a thought that you have when you're pregnant. You ever been pregnant with a thought, Joe? You ever had a thought where you were pregnant with this thought and you knew that this thought, this entity, this being in your mind, this idea that is a living being, right? That you have to give birth to it. You felt that before? So if you felt like you've had a pregnancy as men or even as women, this is not a physical pregnancy. This is not a pregnancy of, okay, as a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you what. Alchemy Temple, when the name came to me, created itself, everything. When I first started Alchemy Temple, Crystal, what's good, love? How you doing, fam?
And love, Crystal.
When I started Alchemy Temple, I was pregnant with the energy, and I knew it. I knew it. I knew that I was going to give birth to a energy. I didn't know what the energy was going to be. I didn't know. I knew it was spiritual. I knew it was going to be something spiritual, but I had no idea what it was going to be. Over a series of weeks, maybe 3 weeks, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do anything other than create the concept on paper, right? Eventually, the next scene, here we are now. You understand? But I was pregnant with an energy. I had to deliver the energy, right? So that's an example of using the triple black goddess. It wasn't comfortable, right? And see, when you have, when you're in tune with this triple black or this black Madonna, when you're in tune with this natural vibration, this natural flow, and the way things are, you know what happens? It calls you.
Yes.
Right? You don't have to look for it. You don't have to go searching for it, trying to figure out where it is. It's going to find you. It's going to find you no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter who you're with, no matter if you want to hear it, no matter if you don't want to hear it. The energy is going to call you, and it's gonna call you in the middle of chaos. You could be doing mad stuff. It could have all the noise around you and be in the middle of a conversation, and you'll hear that voice in your head. And guess who God is? God is yourself. It's you. So if you want to tap into the triple black goddess, you understand that you tap into concepts of yourself, concepts that are yours. You own these concepts. These are not borrowed identities that you get. You don't borrow the concept of the triple black goddess. You don't borrow and worship God, like to the sense of like, let me worship. You know who you worship? You worship life. You worship. When you look at those trees, you better worship them because they're breathing for you. When you look at your girl, you know what I'm saying? You look at your brothers or your husband, or you look at your child, you better worship them. You worship your children, you worship your spouse, you worship your siblings, you worship your friends, you worship the animals, the birds that fly by, you worship them because you can see them. And the ones that are outside your window singing and chirping that you ignore half the time. But guess what? When you sit there and you still, and you go to that triple black stillness, because that's another thing about the triple blackness, it's always quiet, right? There's not a lot of talking in that triple blackness. That triple blackness doesn't have a lot of words that's being spoken. When you go there and you listen, these birds that are out there singing this, you worship them because they're here now. You worship nature. That's what you worship. You worship the things you can see, feel, and touch. Right? You don't worship a science or a culture. You don't worship the zodiac, right? Because half of the people that are reading the zodiac for you, they can't tell you where the hell Aries is. They don't know where Sagittarius is in the sky. They don't know what Jupiter looks like. They don't own a telescope. They have no concept of what that really means. It's book knowledge for them. They've memorized how to regurgitate and spit information. You know what I'm saying? But real information is going to come with you can see, feel, and touch. If you can see it, you can feel it, you can touch it, and you know it. Some things you can't see, feel, or touch, but you can know them. But the things that you see, feel, and touch, you can produce. right? If I can't do nothing but produce the idea, nothing but the concept, nothing but, you know, I'm just talking about what's gonna happen, and it's never happened. You've never seen it. I've never seen it. It's just an idea. Bullshit. I call bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't take much in this world to produce what you want.
Mm-hmm.
If there's something that you want, it shouldn't even take more than 3 weeks to get it. I mean, at least to see some sort of movement in that direction, right? Not to say that you can produce anything that you want in 3 weeks, but if you set up a proper ritual, you should be able to have a clear path to any goal that you have in 3 weeks.
You know, Noah, you brought up so many points that I was going to go into regarding the Black Madonna and the return or the rise of her. Now, in going into the chakras, your lower chakras, you're not only going into your lower chakras, you're going to honor them, meaning you're going as above, as below, as within, as without. So what's included below us? If we're honoring our lower chakras, right? And we're honoring, we're going into the triple blackness of our soul. We're going into the triple blackness of ourselves. That means we recognize everything as a whole. That means we begin to recognize everything in correlation to oneness. So that just like he was talking about ecology, we're talking about the earth, we're talking about nature, we're talking about the trees, we're talking about the plants, we're talking about the moon and the sun, the lunar energy and the sun energy, the fact that we just had a full moon. You start going into the science of it all and applying it to the fact that all of that is inside of you. All of that dwells inside of you. So so we're not just saying, you know what, I'm gonna say, you know what, I like all of my chakras. No, you're giving honor. You're giving honor. It's like, you know, when you appear before anything, when you was appearing before all these gods outside of you, there was a matter and a method of how you decided to do that. You paid honor to the lies. You gave honor to the false truth. You gave honor to the fact that it wasn't real. So you are to do the same thing for yourself. In order to be on the same line, in order to carry the same type of frequency that you're wanting to adhere to, or that the Black Madonna is representing, that means with honor, with your head held high, with pride, you enter into the darkness of yourself, which is the light of everything, which is the light of you. That means that you don't just do this any type of way. That means you make sure you have an area. That means you have a sanctuary. That means you making sure that you monitoring everything that you do. That when you get ready to speak to yourself, when you start to speak to yourself, you go into an area, you brush it off and you clean it up and you wiping your body off, right? Because you understand that the Black Madonna is saying, hear ye, hear ye. It's time for you to take ownership of who and what you are. It's time for you to get back into who and what you are. And who and what you are is 3 times darkness. 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 times darkness. So when you begin to go into the triple darkness of yourself and you activate all type of layers of your soul, that's when you begin to understand that everything is one. Everything is one. The thought process, that the frequency that we're on right now with the rising of the matriarch, we begin to understand that, yeah, it's because it's always been here. See, the ancient part of what the Black Madonna is representing represents us, represents how ancient we are, represents that in order for us to hear you, dear beloved God and dear beloved goddess and dear beloved queen and dear beloved king and dear beloved sister and dear beloved brother, you got to tap into the wholeness of yourself, which is represented in 3s. I'm talking about triple darkness. I'm talking about 1 layer, you going in. You remember we was talking about the 7 gates of going into hell yesterday, but we going into the triple darkness of your soul, right? We're going into all the layers. We into our bloodstream. The ancestors and the ancient ones, and Lucifer and Lucy and Shango and Makali and Alegba and all of them that are us right now.
The energy is too high. It kicked her out the box. Look at that. You know, in the interest to keep things going, I'll bring her back on as soon as she comes. But you know, boy, she going in. You know, I can definitely feel that. So look, I'm gonna give her back the mic as soon as she comes on. But I did want to say something. You know, the child of the Black Madonna. You know, this is a key point. The child of the Black Madonna. This is the ancient. First of all, the ancientness of self. The ancientness of self. Right? The ancientness of self is doing it again, Ja. You have to exit and come back. Go out and come back in. The ancientness of self. Okay? The self is ancient, very ancient. The self is extremely old. It never had a beginning. It's always been here. So this means, how can the self have a child, an ancient self? Something, the part of you that's so old, also have a child that's so old. This means that the things that you do, they have to be in alignment naturally. They naturally have to be in alignment. They naturally have to be in alignment, the things that you do, with the things that have been done. Right? Not the way that you do it, but the very things that you do have to be in alignment. It says it's adding you, Joe. Okay, hold on, excuse me. All right, it says it's adding you already, but it should have brought you in. I'm gonna exit out. I'm gonna exit out and try to do it again. Here it goes.
Okay. Peace, family. Every time I get heated up and the energy starts to rise up, I get kicked off, but that's okay. I'm sorry, did I interrupt you, beloved?
I'm gonna give you the mic back. I'm gonna let you go because you want fire, right? I'm just making the point, real quick, that the child, right? The child that's being carried by the mother, right, is in synchronicity with the mother. And the ancientness, the moves of the mother that are so ancient, the moves of the mother that are so in synchronicity, the moves that are in alignment, right? The moves that are directly connected. You know what I'm saying? The mother and the child have the same thing. So the mother gives birth. So that means that if you're going into your triple blackness to perform all the calls of all the deities, all the gods, the collected accrued deities, all the entities that have been collected over time, right? Over all the different diasporas of the world. Because all of them, we open up the door for all of them, right? We created every single one of these deities. We created. And if you know that the deities only act like the people that created them, God is not the God lives. God does not live in heaven. Heaven lives in God.
Talk, yes.
So man is God, and man creates the religions. Man creates the portals. Man has always been. Man never started. Right? So the triple blackness is showing the ancientness and the alignment of the moves and how the moves are always in alignment. The moves, that's what ancient does. That's what a cycle does. That's why everything has been adjusted, even from the calendar. You have a calendar that is now adding in extra days of the year. And so you have leap years. You have months with different days in them. You have months with shorter days, months with longer days. You have all kind of differential points inside the year, right? When the ancient system is a cycle that completes and it never changes. It is what it is. You don't need all that extra calculations and all that. It's just boom, 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 right? So those are the portals that we create. We create our own portals. You are the deity you've always been. So the triple blackness of the deity, the triple blackness of the mother, the ancient Madonna. Yes, she's a mother, and guess what the mother does? You know, we talking about taking this entity into ourselves, taking the characteristic, male or female, right? Because spirituality is not something that is genderfied, right? We'll use feminine symbols in order to show principles, right? So anytime we see a feminine or a goddess, it's not to look at it like, oh, this is a goddess and I'm not supposed to fuck with her because I'm a man. What the goddess does, the goddess shows symbolically how to access principles. And principles are genderless.
Yes.
Principles are genderless. So you're supposed to tap into, as men, as women, you still tap into the same entity, the same deity. So the gods are only awakened when the behavior, right? The gods that you created they're only empowered when you empower them, right? That's why we've done all this work and gone in and woke up a lot of the gods that people are calling on now. Where did they come from? They weren't here 5-10 years ago. Why the hell are all these guys just walking around now? Why are they here? Nobody asked that question. Work had to be done to release them. But the portals had to be open in order to open up doors for them to get into this realm. Why? Because you operate those doorways. You operate the doorways into this realm. This is your physical reality. You live in 3D world. This is your shit. Ain't nobody run your own shit. This is you. You eat, sleep, and take a dump every day, right? That's your right. That's your birthright. You do that shit all the time. That's you. Can't nobody tell you about this 3D world. That's your shit. These spirits, they need your permission to rock with you.
Right.
They don't just come up in here and just run. They don't run nothing. You do. But you're so quick to give your power up and be a jump off. The triple black goddess has a baby. You understand? She's called Madonna. This is showing her motherhood, which means that she has not only been impregnated, but which means there's a counterpart. Because they're telling you who she is. She's a mother. She didn't become a mother but she's not just Madonna, that chick Madonna. She's Madonna the mother, which means that there was a father.
Right.
Or there is a father.
Yes.
Which means that the baby is representing the father.
Yes.
The child's representing the father, which there's a hidden thought form there too. Her thought form is ancient, the child is ancient, which means her offspring, which means that if you tap that out, your offspring through giving birth, as men or women, this is not a physical thing, this is energy. If you're giving birth, you give birth energetically, which means that your words, your thought forms, they have to be, that's your baby. Every time you speak, that's your damn baby.
Yes.
Are you giving birth to babies, kids? Are you giving birth to what are you giving birth to? That's the baby of the Black Madonna. That's why the rise and the return of the Black Madonna has to be your rise. This is the return of the gods. And the Black Madonna is the mother deity, the entity, the vibration that shows motherhood. Motherhood, she's the lioness. The father entity, you don't know who he is. You don't know who the father entity is.
He's everywhere.
You only know the Black Madonna. But you know there's a father. But you don't talk about the father. Why? That's another thought form. That's a whole nother thought form. You focus on the Black Madonna. The Black Madonna, which is the depth of yourself. The depth of yourself. So who's impregnating you? That's a whole nother conversation.
Woo, you know, I knew you was hitting on that because, you know, in dealing with the baby in the arm of the triple black goddess, that is representing all type of thought forms, which means that Everything that you listen to, everything that you tap into, when you begin to tap into yourself and you begin to understand that you are indeed the God of yourself, when you start to really know that, and then by knowing that, right, by tapping into the melanated clusters of your soul, by honoring each chakra, by going into the layers of yourself, and you start to give birth to different DNA strands. You start to give birth to freeing yourself for the next generation to come. You start to create DNA codes and DNA strands for years and years and years after you. See, just like right now, we're talking about the ancestors, Shango, and we're talking about Yemaya, we're talking about Oshun. So we start to begin to create DNA strands that is a freeing process to get us out of the arrested development of what we are in right now. See, the Black Madonna is here to represent that when you go into yourself and you tap into that ancient accrued thought process that's you, when you go into yourself, all of that power, all of that accrued knowledge, all of that enlightenment, that those emerald tablets is waiting for you to go back into yourself. They can't adopt another philosophy of somebody else. They can't adopt an agenda that was handed to you, because only when you become original are you original all the way around. They don't want you to say, okay, you're going to do things just like I do it because I'm Shango. No, I could teach you some tricks, just like I could teach you, give you some tools, but he is the ignited flame of the blackness that I am, of the triple blackness that I am. Yeah, Jah could teach you some tools, but I can't do it for you. I can't be you. You are the only you. You are the only God of the here and now. So see, when we understand who the Black Madonna is and what she is representing, and knowing and understanding that it has nothing to do with the color of your skin, but everything to do with the fact that you are cosmic, that you are solar, that you are a solar people, that it begins to make you look back into what did that mean when they talked about Lucifer? What? Let me think about this. How does that correlate to who and what I am? Wait a minute. Okay, they say Mary, right? Mary, right? So what does that mean when they say Black Madonna and the Father is missing? The Father is all the way around. He is in the cosmos. The Father is right there impregnating us every time we breathe. Every time we inhale and exhale carbon dioxide, the Father is right there saying, you know what? All I need for you is to give birth to your original self. And your original self is the accrued self that has been passed on since the beginning or before time, before we even know. How old is your soul? How old is the ancient part of yourself? I need for you to understand, sisters and brothers, I need for you to stick your head not into Jah, not into Nuwa, but go into yourself and activate that power within you. And then once you realize who you are, once you realize what you have, once you pick your head up and you put your crown on your head and you begin to walk, and everybody is going to join forces with you. Everybody that is on the same frequency, all the gods that's calling you, all the ancient ones that's calling you, is going to join your hands and say, you know what? This is all we've been waiting for you to do, beloved. We've been waiting for you to tap into that part of us that only you can get to. Everything is on a frequency. Everything has matter. Everything moves. All the sounds are created on water. We are 70% water. The earth has the same ratio. So what do you think happens? What do you think happens when you tap into your triple darkness of yourself? What do you think happens when you begin to align yourself with nature? When you begin to align yourself with what is real and what is tangible? When you tap into the sexual part of your energy? When you tap into the energy that we see every day and the energy that they have been trying to erase from our minds and tell us it's not good. Don't do that. You shouldn't be sexual. That's taboo. When you begin to say, you know what? I'm going to look at myself and I'm going to tap into myself and I'm going to begin to, when I call on some, the answers come to me. Not only do they come to me, they come running to me. This sister, I was thinking about how do I do this? And this sister just came and gave me a message. I was thinking about how do I do that? And this brother just came and said, this is how you do it. So that what began to happen. But see, the thing about it, the only key, the major key is that we cannot do it for you. She is a symbol. The Black Madonna, the return. She was here in the 12th century, but now she's here again in the 21st and said, you know what? It's enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. It's time for you to realize, and it's time for you to recognize who and what you are. It's time for you to get aligned with yourself. It's time for you to tap into your soul. Your soul. It's not mine. It's not nuance. Stop trying to give it away. Stop trying to sell it away. Tap into that beautiful soul of yours and activate that thing. Light it up. Get into them chakras. Start question everything. Ask questions. Stop believing the hype. Stop being shallow. When it's you will still be shallow until you tap into the depthness of the triple blackness that is you. And everything will begin to make sense. The fog will be wiped away from your face. So the Black Madonna is saying, here I am. I'm back again, because obviously the call has been made. The trumpet has been sounded. We need to understand that the general is here. We need to understand that the goddess is here. We need to understand that the ancient ones are here to tell you we ready. We waiting for you to just get into yourself. We waiting for you to tap into yourself. That's all we want you to do. Tap into yourself. Tap into yourself. I'm not your God. Nua is not your God. You are your own God. Tap into yourself. Don't put your favor and your belief in a system other than yourself, what you came with. Tap into yourself. It takes self to bring self up. We can't do that. We have no control over you. Your will is what makes you sought after anyway. The fact that you have a will, that's why everybody is trying to get on board. I'm talking about dimensions. They know that you have a will. They say, man, they got a will. The animals, they have a will, you know. The plants, they have a will. We don't have no will. We just got to do what we got to do. We on one frequency all day long. But you have a will. You can actually decide to just take a breath and say, I'm going to decide to become God. I'm going to decide to change the destiny or the course of my life by going into doing some magi for myself. I'm going to decide. They can't do that. But see, once you do that for yourself, all the elements are elements. They're elements and tools for you. The sun energy, the moon energy, the planets, are all elements that are here to help you to bring into manifestation whatever it is that you will. They discombobulated. They like, I don't understand. They have the ability to control everything. What's going on? So Black Madonna rising again with the baby, because the baby is representing every thought form. It can be positive or it can be to your demise. It's up to you, because remember, when you enter into the triple darkness of yourself, it can either bring life or bring death to your demise, because you have to decide which way you're going to go. It's nothing that you play with. You decide, do you want to live? Do you want to be here and understand who you are? Or do you want to keep struggling? Do you want to keep being afraid of what's put before your face? Do you want to keep being afraid of the images that we show you and you say, oh no, son master, I'm not going to do it this way, or no, son master, I'm going to submit. No. Are you still afraid? And if you are afraid, let's make fear our ally. And let's talk to fear and say, fear, what's over here? Why you think I should look out for this? Why my nerves got like this when I looked over there? And fear gonna say, look, I didn't know who that was. You say, thanks for looking out, fear. Thank you for looking out, fear. So let's go handle this thing together and keep it moving. Don't stop, can't stop. Just keep it moving and just tap into the triple male, female anime, male, female spirit, male, female soul. And just remember, your daddy, my daddy, father is all around us. That triple darkness that we tapping into. Yeah, that's daddy. That whole image, all of that right there, the erected, see, a male entity or a male figure represents the erection. Erections are solid and still, unmovable. The cosmos is always the cosmos, right? The stars are always in the sky, right? The earth moves at 1,037 and a third miles per hour all the time. That's a masculine energy, because he's solid. He's moon does. The sun does what the sun does. The planets are aligned. The trees, they grow. They give you carbon dioxide. So, see, the male is standing up still and it's to herself so that we can create, so that we can become the creators that we are, so that we can continue to create and birth a newness and give birth to the freedom that awaits us, that's swelling our pineal glands, that's ready to be born. The freedom of expression, the freedom of being ancient, the freedom of being God is there. It's almost giving us a headache. We going through the birthing process, males and females right now, of giving birth to the freedom that is ours, to be free. To belong, the only ideology, the only rules is yours for yourself. So, family, the Black Madonna, she here to let you know who she calls us into, right? Imagination. She calls us into, right? Going back into the levels of being a baby. Babies don't care. They're going to do what they need to do. She calls us back to looking at things and looking outside of the box. She calls us back to everything that we are, that we believe we are, to be that. Period. She calls you back into your original selves, to be the fool, like we talked about. Y'all remember the fool? Y'all remember the fool in the tarot? The fool, when the fool is God. Because the fool is thinking about the here, and the fool is thinking about the now. The fool doesn't care. The fool is going to do whatever the fool wants to do. And that's when you are God, because there are no rules. There is no thought process. You just saying, you know what? I'm going to do this way, and I'm going to do it this way because I want to do it this way. Your justice system that is incorporated inside of you will kick in. Nobody don't need to tell you how to do what. It'll kick in. It's magic. It just boom, kicks in when you tap into that part of yourself. You will begin to, like I was talking today, when babies are babies in this thing, he becomes protective. That's something that he's tapped into. Nobody had to tell him to do that. Nobody had to say, here's a book, Noir, on how when a person is small in the magic kingdom, how you're supposed. No, he didn't go to how to protect school. He decided that this is what he's going to do. When you have babies and you get into that fight or flight mentality, if somebody dare come after your baby, you become a fool. You don't give a damn. I know I do. I'm going to chase people down. I run fast. I don't know. I become something else. Become something else for yourself. Become something else to free your mind, to free yourself. Become that something else for you. Give honor to your edifice. Give honor to your soul, because everybody trying to get it. Ask yourself, why do so many people want my soul? What is it about my soul? What is about souls in general that people are fighting over? There is a will. You have a will. It's so beautiful to have a will. And then some of us that become institutionalized with the woes of this world, can't operate outside of the will that they have or the agenda that they have for you. Peace and love, family. Let me look at some of these questions. I'm sorry I didn't, I've been just going in. This energy is great, but I just want to know how y'all doing. I'm sure y'all have some questions. Noah, did you see any questions? Yanni, that's right. The waters begin to move and stop being stagnant. Do y'all have any questions? Because see, this topic, Madonna, the Black Madonna kept coming to me all in images. And every time I turned around, here she come, because she wanted me to tell y'all. It's an energy, an archetype of representing that the sweet water is returning, the sweet water of the ancient cosmic way is being birthed right now. So you have to make a decision to get on board. And the way that you get on board is to tap into yourself, because there's nobody else like you. There's nobody else like you. Of course, if you have questions and you need guidance, we are here to assist you. But even we have to ask for your permission to do just that. We can't just say, you know what, do this. If you want some tips, I can give you some tips of what I do, but that's what I do for me. You can try it my way, but then and again, you can tweak it to make it your own. It's all about you, beloved. It's always been about you.
Always will be.
And you know what? I want to say this. You know, I put up a meme the other day about slow dancing. What happened to romance? What happened to romance? What happened to slow dancing? What happened to dancing? She's calling us to celebrate. Let's celebrate. Let's dance. Let's smile again. Let's stop being so damn rigid. Let's dance. Let's move these hips. There are chakras there that can respond to that movement. Let's get into ourselves again. Let's be free. Let's be happy. Let's do things. Let's be divine with compassion and owning the fact that we are gods of the here and now. And let's have a good time while we doing it. You know, that's why they don't want you to like Lucifer, because he represents a good ass time. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He represent everything. When you have fun, you going to Lucifer. What shit? I mean, I don't think the brother too bad myself, because I like to have fun. I don't know about you. Why is that though? Why does he represent, you know, it's bad to be free? Why is that? I mean, come on. These are questions that we have to ask ourselves.
Yo, she said, Mona said she birthed her baby yesterday after listening to you and your sister.
Oh my goodness, Mona. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's dope.
I'm so happy for you.
That's cool as hell.
Congratulations, Mona. So you
know
have a
what that
little
is? That's almost
baby.
like some triple black right there, because like,
That
see,
is.
you know, she tapped into that frequency and then delivered it to her child, so the offspring is getting the same frequency. I mean,
Wow.
if
So
she's
the
doing that
baby
right,
says, yeah, the baby says, hey, John, tell the baby I said, hi, baby.
these lectures
That's
are
so
really helping.
great.
Terry Harris says these lectures are really helping me tune into my own path.
Yes, Terry. Yes, that's the goal. That's the goal.
Marlita Shanklin says, I love these sessions. Oh,
Thank
she said
you.
not physical. Mona, so you didn't have no actual physical baby. Hold up, we bugging. Hold on now. I must have,
Okay, but whatever. What was it? What did you give birth to, Mona? Talk to me. I want to know. This is
because
juicy.
you give all kind of births. You know,
That's right.
birth happens, and we was just talking about that earlier.
That's right. We were talking about thought form entities giving birth to new DNA patterns.
You know, so you know, like really
Business.
even.
Yes, Mona. So that's good. You know what? I send you all the positive energy for your endeavor into your own business. That is great. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you, beloved.
And you know what
That's
I like?
dope.
I like the way Mona is able to put that together. You know what I mean? To actually
Yeah,
have it as a birthing process. A
right.
birthing process. You know what? Listen, this is what you do, Mona. All right. Outside of your business, also with relationships too. All right. This is gonna help you both for the relationship, romantic, and also like just people that you deal with. You take this same concept of birthing with them, and you realize that you have you and you got your business, two different entities. All right. Then you have the relationship that's between you and your business. So your business is sitting there waiting for you to tell it what to do. But the older it is, the business starts having a personality of it. So it wants to do a little bit of that. John, you got kicked out. What happened? Sometimes your business wants to do a little bit of this. Sometimes your business wants to do a little bit of that. All right. And then you have that energy between you and your business, which is the relationship, which means that sometimes your business, the response, right, of the things that your business does, because it is a live entity, right? If this is your baby's gonna think and move and do. It's not just
Right,
gonna
Ali.
sit there and be a bit. It's not a business is an entity. It's gonna think, move, and do. Okay, but your business is gonna think, move, and do. It's gonna have its own movements. You are gonna think, move, and do, and have your own movements. You don't want to start mixing up the operation between you and your business. You want to make sure that when you deal with your business, you deal with your business,
Mm-hmm.
and when you deal with the relationship or your baby of your business, between you and your business make a baby, which is the offspring, right? You have to deal with that. That's the relationship. The business is going to deal with things from the business perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to try to understand the business perspective, right? So there's a difference right there. So I can see that the business is long term. There's a
Mm-hmm.
partner. The partner is a little questionable for you. It seems that the partner is a silent partner right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they're silent partner is because you don't know about them being a regular straight up partner. Um, this is a self business, so you're gonna do this thing on your own. I don't really see too many people working with you on this. I think that it's gonna be your business, and you'll have it. Whoever you hire will be an employee. They won't be working with you on the side of creation of the business. Another thing is that the business is going to open up some doors for travel. You're going to have some room to be able to move and wiggle around. First, it's going to be real local, but there's opportunities in the very beginning for you to travel. There's something in Florida. Um, Stuff is most of Virginia. There's a Virginia. Um, I don't. Kansas City is the farthest that I see going that direction. You'll be able to move um, around with this business. The problem is going to come in with you bringing in extra people. Don't bring in extra people.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bring in extra people. Nobody can come in with you right now. Any silent partners are just influences, and that's cool. You can have them maybe, but they're just that. They're influenced. They don't bring them in on the bit. Don't tell them about your plans. Don't do that. It's gonna ruin it. It's gonna ruin everything. You need you need to hire strangers.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to work with the people that surround you.
Hmm.
You're supposed to hire
Mm.
strangers. Not that there's nothing wrong with them. It's just the fact that don't do it that way, man. Because they're gonna take the integrity of your business straight down by your toes,
Mm-hmm.
by your footsies, and you're gonna be stomping on it. And there's nothing's gonna matter about business and money. Don't even talk about it. You can forget about money. All right, and that defeats the purpose of a business. So
Mm-hmm.
your business can grow, but I see there's an issue though, and it looks like you get tired of shit
Mm-hmm.
real quick.
Mm-hmm.
This is your baby. You can't quit on your baby.
Mm-mm.
That means you got to be around when your baby's sick with the chicken pox. You got to rub
Mm-hmm.
your baby down with that calamine lotion. When your business is broke, and both
Mm-hmm.
y'all broke, and you
For
broke looking
real.
at your business, and your business broke looking at you. You sitting there broke with your business, and you have to hang in there with your business. This is your baby.
You know what?
Yes,
Mona
ma'am.
has been sitting on this for a minute and she is very determined. She's been
Yeah.
listening to people been in her ear telling her what she can't do. But Mona,
Mona gonna
on
get
those,
it.
yeah,
She's
she
gonna get
is.
it. She's gonna get
She
it.
is. Mona, you just remember, as long as you going into yourself, you can, there's always classes on entrepreneurship and business etiquette classes and different classes like this, and you can go in and find that type of stuff. But when people don't have nothing and they trying to tell you what to do, see that as a sign, especially when they don't have a business. Because the fact that you starting and you gave birth to this business, you are a winner. You are winning, honey. You are a hero. Because I know you have been through some shit. You have been through some stuff. And doing this is a big thing to you. You have been through some stuff, Mona.
Yeah, she been planning it out for a while.
Yes, she have, but she been through some stuff, Noah. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
where she was questioning her abilities, but I'm glad that you received the confidence that you needed to move forward and go ahead and do it. And just know that people, I mean, when they talking so much, that mean they ain't doing shit. They got all this time to talk to you. They not doing anything for their own goddamn self.
You know what though?
Okay?
The thing about it is like this though, man. I mean, I look at that a little differently though, because like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
this energy, right? The energy of these people, right? You know what I'm saying? Or that frequency. It's not about the people, because the people really rock with you. They really have love for you. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're not treating you the best way that they can. I'm not saying that they
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't treat you better, but they're treating you like they know how. And it's not like they
Mm-hmm.
really want the worst for you, them. But the behavior pattern,
Mm-hmm.
that frequency, that energy wants to destroy you. And that's what you need. You need that, because guess what? Right now, I'm gonna tell you right now, Mona's doing what she's doing because of that shit.
Yeah,
Because
it's propelling. You right.
they
Yeah.
basically forced her in the movement, and that's what she needed. That's
Mm-hmm.
good. That energy is good.
Mm-hmm.
You should be
Mm-hmm.
thankful.
Mm-hmm.
Be
Mm-hmm.
happy.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
needed that energy around you. Without that push, see, that's that
Mm-hmm.
satanic shit. That's what
Mm-hmm.
Satan is. It is the opposery to the
Mm-hmm.
bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and say, yo, you can do that, man. Or you can't do that, man. I know you couldn't do that shit. And you be like, yes, I can. You're like, no, you fucking can't, man. This nigga can't do that shit, man. You be like, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Next thing you know, you making moves. You getting up early. You doing stuff the way you never did before, because they said you couldn't. That's
She
what pushed
tapping
you to
into
do
her
it.
triple darkness. That's right.
It pushed her to it. So you needed
That's
that
right.
blackness. You needed that force,
That's
that
right.
grit, and it had to come. It
Yeah.
come through a negative energy. It's not going to come through a positive energy, and that gives
Mm-hmm.
a way of the fact that, look, when you ask for something, you get the opposite of what you asked for. You have to
Mm-hmm.
demonstrate the thing that you asked for, because you said you wanted it. That means it was already in you.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I want a business and I need to make wealth. I need to do this. You already know what to do. How are you going to do it? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. And the next thing you know, you have to put the work in. You put the work in, and this shit happens. If you don't put the work in and you just say this is what you're going to do, it never happens. People talk about what they're going to do, but they never put the work in, or they and it never happens, right? You have to put the work in. So with you, you wanted to put the work in for so long, but the push that you got, not only from them saying that you couldn't do it, but you not getting along with people trying you, disrespecting you over here, trying you a little
Mm-hmm.
bit over there, just doing little things, put you in a place where you was like, man, I'm gonna withdraw to myself. I ain't gonna rock with none of y'all. I ain't gonna talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna do this. Watch. I'm gonna make all these plans. I ain't gonna see shit. I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do. And you went into you not gonna. I'm not gonna fuck with y'all. And you blamed it on them, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, you needed that energy, that frequency is really the movement of your ancestors. You calling your ancestors, that's how they show up.
Woo!
When you ask for
Yeah.
something good, you get something opposite of that shit. You asking for business, you're gonna get everybody telling you that you can't do the business, because you know why? You're gonna have to produce the business. You have to make the business. The business ain't gonna pop up because you asked for it, like the stork.
Like
When you give
abracadabra,
birth,
right?
what it look like? Do it look like a stork? I saw the birthing of my son, and I could not help but worship. After that, I said, "Yo, the essence of woman, y'all can have that. I'm good. I could never do that. There's nothing in me that would ever be able to do that. Probably in never a million thousand lifetimes. Not a million thousand lifetimes. I couldn't do that."
That's right, Mona. You are. You know what? Congratulations again to you, Mona. I'm so happy for you, and it's just great. It's a freedom of you leaping into your own self, truly into your own self, and that is so great. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, that's dope. You are the business. That's right.
That's
Good
right.
night, Yanni. People
Good
tell
night,
me all the
Yanni.
time that your event will not work, but you're pushing yourself to make it happen with no support. Well, guess what? No support is not good. So the way you get support is you support your guy. You support yourself. You be like this. When there's no support, you know what? I didn't have no support when I started Alchemy Temple. Wasn't no support. You think I had support? Where was there support at?
Thank,
I didn't have no
thank you,
support.
Yanni. Thank you, Yanni. Peace and love. I'm sorry. Excuse me, New.
No,
I'm
you good.
just.
You good. I didn't have no support. Right? I didn't have any support. But you guess what? I had all the support because I found support in myself. You know what I'm saying? I found support in myself. Right?
Mhm.
And I supported myself, and I came up with the concept. I ironed it out. And it was brought to me, but I let it come through. Right? And when it came through, I had to actually produce it. You know what I'm saying? And look at it now. Right? But it comes to the concept. So your event is your concept. You don't need no support. Who the hell are they gonna? Who the hell are they to support you? It's your dream. It ain't theirs.
Right.
Why should they support you? What should they support you for? They don't care about your shit. What they gonna support you for? For your event? Yeah, they don't think it's gonna work anyway. They don't think it's gonna work. You don't need no support. You know what? Support yourself. The public, strangers, people that know you, they'll support you when they see it working. Then they want to act like they were supporting you the whole time. I've been there, you know. Yeah, you was there acting like it wasn't gonna work. But listen, don't worry about that. Those people, they jump on when it gets good. You know, you already know the science. Everybody else,
Mhm.
they'll come to the event. You know,
Mhm.
you on the South, you throw an event, we probably show up. You never know.
That's right. Where you at?
I think she in Birmingham, I think.
Okay. Alabama. Mhm.
Yeah, they don't want it to work. You know what I'm saying? They don't really want it to work. It's not supposed to work for you because if it works for you, then that means that they look bad. It's kind of like I know this is probably going to be a terrible example for some people. I'm sorry. I got to keep this I got to say it. Let me try to think of it better. Okay, so you know I'm getting ready to do. I'm not going to do it. Okay?
What? Mm.
If we was on New Our Soul, I'd do it. All right. All I'm saying is they don't want it to work. But you know what? She and Beham, they don't want it to work. You know what I mean? It's really it's good for them to not want it to work because that driving force is down in the low part. That's the part that you listen to in the back of your head where you be like, you know, and it hurts. And you be like, man, ain't talking about my shit ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? My shit gonna work. I know my shit gonna work. My shit always work. Well, it didn't work before, but it's gonna work this time. Right? And you go through all that shit, like, you know, and you know your shit didn't work because they reminded you. They told you your shit didn't work before. Remember the last time you tried to do an event? What happened? And you start thinking, that's what you need.
You know what?
You need that energy. You need to think that maybe it won't work. When you hear that voice, there's something inside you that should be like, man, I'm about to rock this. I don't care what nobody, you know, I'm about to make this happen just because they said it won't. Just because they said they won't, I'm about to do it. And then you start making moves. And every move grows to another level of manifestation. Every move grows to another level of manifestation. And next thing you know, you have the thing going. But hard work is really the only way you can do it.
Right.
If you're not working hard, then they're right. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? You work hard. You keep working. You work consistently. You know, if you do that, then your plans can't help but work. You're
They
consistent,
can't
you
help.
hard worker, your plans are gonna always work if they're supposed to. If they don't work, then it wasn't meant to be. And the only thing that you can do at that point is to continue to keep moving, because that plan shed like skin. You know, I mean, you want to see how much your skin sheds? Don't take a shower for a couple days. when your ass, when you go like this, when you go like this, you go see skin particles floating in the air, little dust. That's your skin, because you gotta wash that all. You have to wash that every day. All right, wash ups don't count. You need to take a shower, right? Because your skin is always shedding, right? And so your ideas are gonna do the same thing. Sometimes you're gonna have an idea, and sometimes it's gonna shed just like that skin is gonna. And every single day, sometimes the ideas are gonna be so big. But if you take the time and it's something that you develop, like I know you did with this thing, then you're determined to make it happen, then you know you can't help but win. You can't help but get what your goal is off the strength. You know.
Family, it has been, you know what? We have that number 3 in the building, 30. And just
I
remember
kind
to
of want to
go
do one
into,
reading. You say
I'm
what?
sorry, what'd you say?
There's somebody I can't figure out who. I can't see the energy, but there is somebody's energy is calling out. I want to find it. It's kind of driving me crazy.
I think it's
Divine's gone. Okay, peace, Divine. That was probably a long time ago.
Peace Divine.
I don't know. There's one
My
more.
message is cut off. My message is cut off. I can't see who it might be. Terry, how you doing?
Terry.
D-Mental, how are you?
D-Mental. Yeah, D-Mental is another one. What's up, D?
D-Mental, how are you doing?
A lot of remixes.
D-Mental, what's
Raquel
happening with you?
Jackson. Valencia, right. Who's that? Motivation. I know that energy, that name. Wait, is Valencia, you from Miami? Or is that somebody else? 333. That's what time it is right now. It's already 3 o'clock in the morning for real.
No, it's 12:06.
Oh, she's just saying
You
333.
D-Mental, you blessed? Okay. Whatever you thinking about right now, D-Mental, that thing that you questioning about if it's gonna work, if it's gonna come through.
Oklahoma, okay.
Oh my goodness. You're
Valencia,
welcome.
right. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I gotta find this name. If I don't find it right now, I'm just gonna say, okay, I guess it is what it is. But it jumped out like 3 times. But I was talking about something. You know how that goes, man. You know.
Yeah.
Marlita. 33. That's where we are right now. 33. Yeah, D-Mental, no doubt. You know, so just in recap, do you want to do a recap? I think on the recap it would be like this. I'll kick the first recap and then you can do that. If there's no
Okay.
questions, we'll do the recap and close the broadcast. But basically it's like this, right? The triple black goddess, the Madonna energy. Okay. To tap into this vibration, you tap into yourself. You can use any tool or any deity outside of yourself. And you know, you can just go into any of the dark goddesses, right? You just go into that, go into yourself, and pay attention to your offspring. Your offspring is the words, right? That you that's the words that you speak. That's your offspring. Your offspring are the things that you do, That's your offspring. These are your children, right? So you're a father or you are a mother of many nations because you have a whole bunch of thoughts. And you're creating a whole lot of thought form entities. You speak a whole lot of words, and all that you say, and everything you're saying is creating it's built with a frequency. And when you speak, certain things are happening, right? Certain people are listening. People are listening to what you're saying, and maybe it's shaping them in a certain way. Kimberly, what's good, fam? Maybe what you're saying is shaping the people in a certain way, right? So every time you speak, this is the black goddess. The black goddess, which is the mother, which passes the law. The mother passes the law.
Mm-hmm.
The mother's the lawgiver. The offspring or the child is the next generation of that same energy, which represents the father. The child lets you know that the father is there, but you don't really find out who the father is. The father is an entity or a shadow form that's not being spoken about. Okay, so you don't really know who the father energy is, but you know that the father is there because it's the Madonna mother figure. So you see one, but you're alluding to a second one automatically by the fact that the child is there. Okay, and her being a divine being would make you automatically assume that she's in tune and in touch with the divine counterpart. Why would God fucks with a corpse?
Exactly.
Unless it's for the purpose of resurrection. Now, if you're talking about resurrecting the triple black goddess, you're talking about representing the black Madonna, then you have to understand you do not resurrect anything or anyone if you don't plan to put them to work. If you don't plan to activate them and use them. So you don't want to start talking and thinking about the triple black goddess and black Madonna and all of that if you're not going to actually use that entity or use that energy, that vibration within yourself.
Well, family, basically right now we have a decision to make. And when I say we, again, I'm speaking collectively as being in unison as one. And the decision that needs to be made is, am I going to go all in or not? Because there is no in between. Okay, there's no in between. We can't do it for you. There's no easy way around it. You have to do the work. You have to put the work in. It doesn't matter what level of yourself you're trying to get into. You have to put the work in for yourself. So the triple black goddess, the black Madonna, her blackness represents the ancient part of herself. The blackness represents the darkness. The blackness represents that to honor your lower chakras, to go down and pay homage to all of you. The triple black darkness represents the layers of darkness that you can travel into, all parts of yourself, and understand the role of each part of you and
You see
balance
that
all
question,
of
right?
it.
I'm sorry.
What's the question? So if someone wants assistance and calls upon the deity, how should we have them to work for us if we have never done it? So Yaya.
Let me get it. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you get it. I'm gonna
Go
let you
ahead.
get it.
No,
I'm gonna let you get it. Go ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So remember that we were
Damn, she froze. That's really bad, but really good because it gives me a chance to talk. But at the same time, I know she'll be back soon. That's so funny at the same time, man. It's fucking funny. Say something. Let me bring you on. I'm gonna still let you talk first, but that was my opportunity to get him. That was my opportunity to do it. supposed to be bringing you on, John. What's happening? It's for me. Man, I'm trying to bring you on. I don't want to do it like that. It's saying, okay, look, I'm going to cut you off. It's saying adding. It usually does it much quicker. Do it again and see what's up. Nah, I ain't swiping. I ain't swiping. Nah, that was funny though. That was funny though. That was funny though. Because I really wanted to talk. I really wanted to answer that question, but she was into it. You know what I'm saying? She sounded like she about to say something deep. So I didn't want to cut her off, but the other half of me was like, man, cut her off. But I didn't want to cut her off because I want to hear what she's going to say. And then she just froze. And I was like, word, I get to talk? Yo, that's funny. Hold on, she got it. Here she go. I'm trying to bring you back on. It's saying adding. Are you requesting or I'm gonna talk? I'm gonna give it to her. Yo, that was funny. I don't understand, y'all. What's happening? It's saying adding you. Um, I didn't want to cut it off though. I'll blame it on Facebook. It's the technology. You know what I'm saying? It's technology. You know how the signal been doing it all night. Okay, I'm gonna cut it off again. Now it says you off. So I'm gonna try to add you again. So request it. See if that happens. All right, but let me go ahead and give you this while we're talking. All right, so if someone wants assistance, ask to go ahead and request so I can bring you on. If someone wants assistance and calls on a deity, do you have to know how to do it if you've never done it? First of all, you don't have to know how to do anything. You can do it because you know you want to do it. You are the deity. Your higher self. See, the concept of not knowing is because you've been separated from yourself, so you don't know that you know everything. But you should know that you know everything. Because when you hear something that you don't know, if it's true, you already know it. It's familiar. If it's bullshit, if it's a lie, you'd be like, that's some bullshit. Right? And so you already know that too. So you are the measure of truth, and only God, the all-knowing Most High, that's what you were taught. That's what you know. You only know that God knows everything, and you know everything already. You just have been lied to and forgot. It's been a lot of energy and efforts, a lot of spells, a lot of energy that's been put towards defeating your knowledge. A lot of stuff that's been happening to make it to where you don't know what's really good. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, you don't know. But you really do know. So first of all, if you're saying you have to get rid of the diminishing codes that you use all the time. One of them is saying, I don't know. You do know. You know. You just maybe don't remember right now. But how can you remember if you're not trying to do it? Right? I mean, if you try to do it, then that's the only way you're going to learn, through experience. Right? So if you want to know how to access a deity, tap into yourself. Those are the best versions of deities that you'll ever reach. You'll tap into deities of self. You, yourself, are a deity. You are many deities. And if you don't know how to tap into yourself, you learn how to go into silent mode. And yourself, your deity, yourself, will be sitting there waiting on you in silent mode. You'll be sitting there waiting on yourself in silent mode. But you can't get to yourself in silent mode if you are, always talking, always chattering, always on that type of vibration. You have to have silent. There she go. Okay. A fast. Okay, so I'm gonna hit that. What's good, Sarah Phoenix in the building? All right, and I don't wanna jump around because I'm on your shit right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let you. I know you was getting ready to make a good point. You know what I'm saying? Your signal, your internet signal is a little suspect right now. You know what I'm saying? So you know how it goes. You know what I mean? But
Um,
Now you
I
back.
miss you too. I miss you too, Kimberly. Thank you, Yaya. I was getting ready to say basically the same thing that Noah said, and he just cut me off so he can say it
I
first.
didn't
Y'all
do
see
it
him?
though. I didn't have nothing to do with
y'all, y'all
that. How
see
you gonna blame
y'all
your
see
internet
him do
signal
that,
on
right?
me? What, you got an Android?
But listen. I love my Android, but listen, yes, Yaya. There is nothing that you can't do. You know the mystery of this all. You are the mystery. Everything is inside of you, all of it. So and remember the deities that you're trying to call on. Ask yourself what for. The thought form that you're creating, the reason that you're calling on them, what for? What need? What do you think you need them for? Is there something outside of you that you can't do for yourself? Why do you need them? Because the ultimate goal is for you to get done whatever it is that you're willing, that you're trying to manifest. So what's up? Because remember, you are the God of the here and now. We're talking about going into the triple darkness of yourself.
Mm.
The
Come on,
deity
no, you
that
got
you
to say
call
that part over. The God of who and where and what?
of the here and now. And
Of
we're
the here
talking
and
about
now.
going
Why don't you
right.
go into that one a little bit? Just go. You got to go into that right there. You can't brush. You have to go right, especially right now. You got
Okay.
to touch on
So
that
what
one.
that means,
Mm-hmm.
is you being the God of the here and now means that there is nothing that can be done without you. You have to be the one to do it. You have to basically be God right now. There is nothing outside of you. Your existence in the here and now is the fact, it correlates to the point of you being God. So going into the triple darkness of yourself means that you have to resurrect the God consciousness of you, going into the
Mm.
layers of you that brings about the manifested change or the will of your own. And see, what we need to understand is that when Kalima shows up, this is what happens. There's a conversation, right? When any deity or any entity shows up, there's a conversation. They say, "Jah," I say, "What's good? What up, though?" They say, "Look, can you allow me? Can I? Look, may I? Hey, is it okay?" I don't say, you the God, I need you. No, 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 no. Because the fact that my voice is here, that my vessel is here, they want to dine and sup with me. They want to come, they want to get in the bath with me and take a good bath and put on some frankincense and some dragon's blood, what I love so much. They want to put some of that on. They love that stuff because when I put it on, they be like, "Ja, oh my goodness, girl, I love that dragon's blood when you put that on, right?" So if I'm not activating my own God consciousness, on a daily level, I'm not able to do anything. They don't want to rock with me. So make yourself, and then you let them know what you need for them to do. If they keep coming to you, that means that they're appearing to you to say, "Hey, Yaya, you looking real good spiritually, girl. You know what? You are the bomb. You are the goddess. Listen, Yaya, let me holler at you real quick, boo boo. Listen, my name is Kalima, and let me tell you, let
Makali.
me give you my resume, sis. Like Mommy Water, she said, Ja, let me give you my resume, honey. The Black Madonna said, "Yo, Ja, I want to roll out the script and show you why I'm here right now. I want to give you my resume, Ja." Nua, listen. Is it okay if I come and talk? Is it okay, Nua? This is what they saying. We not saying, "Hey, can you come?" No, no, no. They saying, "Listen, hey, is it all right?" And in return, in the exchange of energy of that, we say, "You know what? We want y'all to know where this is coming from. We want y'all to know who birthed this process, who did this, who we're paying homage to." It's just like, for example, if, when I say, "You know what, Nua is my mentor. He is the master of everything. He is the founder of Alchemy Temple." I'm letting you know who he is, who the God is, right? But I had to come to the school and get ignited and all of that stuff. And then if I'm not able to, wasn't coming to the school, if I wasn't willing to apply the information, then it just falls. It's just like nothing. So it's the same applies with these deities. You are the deity. Let me say that again, Noah. Say that again. Say that again, Noah. You are the deity. You are actively alive right now. You are breathing. You
So you
have
are
the
the
will.
deity and the ancestor.
Yes, and the
So you're
ancient one.
God and you're the ancestor. So who does the ancestor worship? God? That means you worship yourself.
You talk.
How do you not know how to worship you? Right? So that means that you really do, but the spell, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No problem.
You made me do it with what you said. But the spell is your fault. You shouldn't have said that. The spell tells you that you don't know what to do to activate or to really activate and call and summon these deities. You're the deity. You know how to talk to yourself, right? So when you go to those silent places and you complain and you crying, you know how you sometimes you don't want to cry because you feel like you shouldn't cry because you judging yourself. Like that's the parts of you, right? The part of yourself that is the higher being, the upper echelon, right? Remember the label and terms for heaven and hell were all representative of your body parts and segments of the physical vessel, right? So you had heaven, which was the pineal gland, right? You had earth, which was the heart chakra, and you had the genitals, which was hell, the pelvic bone. Because in the pelvic bone, if that gate, that little small gate at the small of the back, right? That small of the back, right there, that little small gate, about 1/4 of a centimeter in diameter, if it's blocked, all this chakra talk means nothing. Because you're stuck in hell. All your energy can't rise up. Now, most people, truth be told, that root chakra and that sacral chakra are going to be open. Right? Their survival mode and their sacral energy of sexual energy is going to be open. Right. That's really where they live at. They live there. Right? But the thing is that the serpent, the willpower, it rises up, and when it gets to the solar plexus, it turns back down to where it came most of the time, which is so funny because the solar plexus is like a portal of its own. It's like a suction cup at the solar plexus.
Yes.
The solar plexus, once the energy reaches the solar plexus and it gets into the solar plexus, good. The solar plexus creates a vacuum and a propeller at the same time. And a filter.
I'm sorry.
So it does this. It's like taking something, grabbing it, and then pushing it that way. I go this way, and then I go that way, right? I grab it this way, and then I go that way. I grab it over here, and then I throw it that way, right? That's what the solar plexus does. Lorena Hernandez, what's good? Deanna, what's popping? Okay, so that's what the solar plexus is doing. The solar plexus is taking the energy up, it's sucking it as a vacuum, and it's pushing it up the spine, up the rest of the spine. Okay, so in the spinal cord, you have all the central nervous system built in, right? The entire central nervous system built in, and the central nervous system is built in, attached to the different vertebrae. The nerve endings are in the spinal cord, and the spine goes up all the way to the back of the neck, and when you get up to the top of the neck, all the way up to the top of the neck, the back of the head, right there is where you start reaching into the brain stem. Right now, the brain stem is broken up into different circuits, electrical circuits. Right, this is giving you different thought forms, and of course, there are 7 of them, different circuits, 7 different circuits, electrical circuits, 7 circuits that lead to the brain. You can't go straight from the spine to the brain. You have to go from the spine to the brain stem to the brain. Because you have to have something connect the brain to the spine. And that's the brainstem, and that's where the circuit board is kept at. for all your central nervous system. Right? So when you have energy being pulled up, the energy that's coming from the back of the head, from the back of the third eye,
sure, Latif,
is used as a vacuum. Purple light is not a real color. Purple is not a real color. Purple is a fake color, or it's like an amalgam. It's like a mixed color, like green. Purple is not a real color because purple is a mixture. Okay, so you have the throat chakra, which is blue. You have, what color is this, John?
Are you talking about your pineal gland?
The pineal gland.
It's like a. Don't give me the line.
Okay, so anyway, so purple's
I'm
not the
sorry.
example, but I'll give you the example of purple. But anyway, what this is indigo and this is purple, right? Yes, indigo.
Right.
Yeah, this is indigo, which is a mixture of
Indigo.
blue and purple, right? The blue here, the purple on top, and the indigo in here. Okay, so this is really not, indigo is not a color, right?
He said purple.
Indigo is not a color, but that's the color associated
Right.
with right here. But indigo itself is not a pure color. Let me say it like that.
Okay.
Indigo is a mixed color, like green. Green is the heart chakra. The heart chakra is right here. And it's a mixture of what? It's a mixture of yellow, the solar plexus, and blue. Yellow and blue make what?
Green.
Heart chakra. Yellow and blue. Blue, purple make indigo. So the throat and the solar plexus make the heart. The throat and the crown make this one. And that just means that it's pulling the energies from here, right here, to get this. That's all that they're trying to tell you, because this color is really clear. This chakra has no color. It's really clear. You get the indigo because it's clear and it's combining the colors from above and the kind of colors here. It's the Queen of Heaven. She deals with everything around her. She pulls it right in.
You waking up. You
waking up.
You waking up.
Each color ascends to the next. Yes, the color hierarchy, and we're gonna have to do a live on that. You know,
That'd be great.
The color hierarchy. Okay, because the hierarchy of colors is how you break everything down. You can break colors down. You can associate them with each with a different frequency or different vibration, and then you can break the colors down to numbers. All right, and then obviously, you know, to keep it, you know, real, you know, of course, the colors can break down to sexual alchemy. And we just keep it at that. All right. So different colors mean different things. Red produces passion and lust. Blue produces laughter, joy, knowledge, information, in energy. Colors, they have vibrations to them, and that's the whole science behind candle magic. It's about the flame of the candle. That's where the magic is. The wax is a whole nother science. But what if you don't have a wax? What if you have a floating wick? What if you just pay attention to the flame? The flame is going to tell you everything, because the spirit comes in the flame. Right? I mean, the spirit comes right in the flame. The flame dances. When you see the flame sit standing and erect, he don't move. The flame is just like this. Flame don't budge. Sometimes flame will do like this. Sometimes a motherfucker be like, you know. You got all kinds of things going on with the flame. The color of the candle is representative of the situation, because that's a certain vibration. So if it's dealing with finances, what color you think is fertility? If it's dealing with, you know, fertility, that's green, you know, green. Pink, lighter colors, but pink is not a color. Pink is a derivative of red and white. See, candle magic, you have to think of the original colors. If you start doing mixed colors, then the color vibration is different, and you have to. I mean, you don't have to. I mean, you could do it that way. You could just get
But
a pink
see,
candle and say it means love, but you need to understand that pink. How'd you get pink?
yeah, red.
Right. The topic right now, we at this point, we kind of we're on the
The
closing
topic
remarks,
is
but the topic itself is the triple black goddess. You
the
know,
rise of the Black Madonna.
Black Madonna, triple black goddess. You know, and so at this point, we just kind of taking
Okay.
random conversations and kind of closing it down or whatever. But it just keep getting more and more people, so we just kind of flowing with it.
So y'all, listen, y'all. You need to write down some positive affirmations because the struggle that you're having with yourself, because you're so logical in your thinking and you have to see it. You have to write down affirmations for you to repeat. You need to write them down though, not just listen to them. You need to write down the positive affirmations. Get you a journal and write them down. Don't just think about it in your head like I am God. I am somebody. I am no. Write down exactly what it is because that is helping you to move energies, helping you to produce exactly what you want to manifest. You do them, you write them down. You said you write them down, yeah. Okay, so yeah, we'll talk. You gotta
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just you need to write down all that negative sis squash that you saying. You need to write them down too in another place on a bay leaf and get rid of them. Burn it up away, cause you clown you doing this to yourself. You creating this right now. Okay, all the negative because you're creating you're manifesting exactly what you're saying right now.
And look, check it out, y'all. Everybody, and I'm sorry, y'all, I got to do this.